Join the C-Suit Talks. Elevate your journey, leadership journey today. Today, we are joined by Mr. Sanjeeb Lahiri, Chief HR Officer at GRP Ltd. Also, we have Prem Kumar, who is going to be co-host with me. Today, we are going to talk about HR and organizational success. Insights from the CHRO. Let's start the discussion. Hello, Sanjeev. Hello, Prem. Welcome to our podcast. Hello, audience.
Thanks, Vijay. Indeed, privileged to be a part of the show. Hi.
Hi Sanjeev. Hi everyone.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for joining us today. Uh, let's start the discussion. Could you share your career journey?
Okay, so I started my HR career in 1998, and I had joined a public sector undertaking at that point in time, known as Vidya Sanchar Nigam, VSNL. So, joining an organization as a fresher and that to a public sector, and I'm talking of a time when the Indian economy was also going through a little bit of doldrums. However, 2002, VSNL got disinvested. So the Tata Group took over the organization. It was actually the second PSU to be disinvested at that point in time. The journey thereafter has been really interesting. So the way I look at it, certain opportunities came. I stuck my neck out, of course, along with a few of my then colleagues. The programs that we call today as the fast track programs. So basically, sit through an assessment, clear it, move on to the next rung, fast, maybe a little bit faster than others, and so on and so forth. But what had happened is, 1998 I started, and I continued with the same organization for about 14 years. Till 2012, and during those 14 years I grew from a fresher to actually somebody leading the BUHR space, of which 7 years has been hardcore into comp and ben strategy, mergers, acquisitions, and so on and so forth. It took me to quite a few parts of the world. I got an amazing opportunity to work with people from all over. Yep, and of course learn in the process. So set up companies, set up people processes for companies, set up people strategies for businesses going through certain levels of transformation, and so on and so forth. I'm not sure if people know, but BSNL is currently called as Tata Communications. So basically that entire journey those days from BSNL to Tata Communications was extremely privileged to be a part of. Thereafter, I moved into Tata International, set up the corporate HR practice over there. Yeah. Once again, privileged to handle a very, very big acquisition that the organization had done at that point in time. And then actually in this whole process of setting the organization and the business verticalization in place, I had an opportunity to move to the continent of Africa. So I led the HR piece of Tata Africa for some time. And after 20 years in the Tata Group, I thought, okay, it's time to maybe put the learnings in place. And that's how the opportunity in my current organization came in. So my current organization, GRP Limited, we are into we are one of the largest recyclers of rubber, plastic, and we are also into a certain amount of rubber, plastic, nylon compounding. A very, very respected name across the world in this industry. And yeah, so over the last 6 years, close to 6 years in this organization, have been once again, working on a lot of business and people interventions. Personally, Coaching is a passion, so got certified as a coach early this year. And I'm very, very privileged to be here playing a role of a mentor for primarily for students, young professionals, entrepreneurs of sorts. So I'm a part of the Global Mentoring Initiative network as well. Yeah, I think that's in short.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for sharing your career journey. My first question is, what does the role of CHRO involve, and how does it contribute to the overall success of an organization?
See, uh, I personally think, and that's what I mean. I have seen in the little journey that I have been so far. The role of a CHRO, as we would think that to lead the people, and trust me, I've heard this plenty of times. I personally think the role of a CHRO, or the role of HR for that matter, let me address that first, is to make the organizations successful through its people practices. End of the day, the whole focus of any function is for the business, because honestly speaking, if the business is not there, these functions don't exist. Very clear. What edge we have, people professionals we have on others, is because we probably understand both sides of the story. Yeah. When I'm saying that we make, I mean, our role is to make the organization successful through people, I essentially mean that the entire people, I think we own the people strategies of an organization. Uh, and that is it is indeed a very powerful role that we play, not only the CHRO but the entire HR team in any organization we play. Yeah. And uh, no organization can exist without people. So therefore, it can exist without processes, for that matter, if I may say so. However, it is the people who make an organization the way the organization is. So I think the difference between an average and a great organization is nothing but its people, and there lies the power of the entire HR team, and thereby who leads the HR practice, somebody who is called as the CHRO. So that's the power of this role.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjeev, for sharing that. I believe that HR role is the heart of the organization. Yeah, thank you. I have another question. How do you define the company culture, and how do you ensure it aligns with the organization's values and goals?
See, culture is the set of behaviors. End of the day, what do you mean by what actually we mean by culture? And personally, I look at it. It is just how anybody would feel getting into an organization. Some of it is said, most of it is unsaid. However, it is all experienced, right? Let me give an example. If, say, an organization says that we have a customer centric culture, right? However, the customers go over there and actually, they are made to run from pillar to post because of the processes of the organization. Maybe nobody is willingly doing it. Then are they really living by the, their claim of being a customer centric organization? I think we all know the answer. They're not living. Therefore, culture is therefore a set of experiences, a set of displayed behaviors that we experience in an organization, right? Uh, Values, once again, are words, right? Let me just try to discover the term value. Now, very, very simply, I understand what I value. Similarly, what I mean as an individual, similarly for an organization, what the organization values is its values, right? Now, the values therefore is a bunch of those non-negotiables which an organization puts in front. That these are the few things which we will stick by, right? these are the some things that we will value. Once again, the values are also, so how do we experience values or how we live the values? Once again, through our deeds. It is once again the list of those behaviors, right? Therefore, I personally really think culture and values are very, very, are deeply aligned. They must be deeply aligned. And the test of the pudding is the experience that anybody, I mean, any stakeholder of that particular organization has. Customers, promoters, leaders, employees, suppliers, everybody. Have I answered you, Vijay?
Yes, Sanjeev, thank you. I understood that culture and values must be deeply aligned. Thank you for that. Yep.
Thanks for the intro and the detailing of how culture and the organization has to be aligned, Sanjeev. So, what are the some of most effective HR practice and strategies that have to be led for employee development and also into their retention in the organization? So, retention is becoming a challenge. So, what would be the practices and strategies that we should look at, Sanjeev, from your standpoint?
No, yeah, thanks, Prem. A good question. Uh, See, why do people come to work? If you ask the same question to each one of us, right? I'm sure we all go to work to to satisfy
Yeah.
ourselves. Now, by satisfaction, by when I use this term to satisfy ourselves, it can be somebody's aspirations of the level, somebody's aspiration of maybe the level of remuneration or the rewards, right? Somebody may be really looking at a very, very meaningful job. Somebody may be looking at the purpose of the organization, right? So
Yeah.
as human beings, as individuals, when from our workspace, we want our aspirations to be satisfied, right? What does the organization want from people? Any organization, I'm sure, would want maximum contribution from the person in that role, right? The magic is to create that, the synergy between the two. Therefore, uh, certain things that I've seen in my organization. Now, one is the key fact is that the purpose of my organization, and we proudly say that when green was referred to, a color in the paint box, uh, we have been we have been servicing, or we have been actually been in that sector right from then. We are in our golden jubilee. We are in our 50th year currently.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Therefore, the entire purpose of doing things for the environment, living sustainability, is very, very, very strong. And living sustainability means also building sustainable businesses. Yep, creating our community around. So therefore, the first thing is the center alignment of our individual and our company's purpose. Uh, the second part is now fine. That is at a very, very macro level. How do we address at a micro level? I'm sure as individuals, we all would want to grow, right? And grow may not mean a promotion every year. Grow means, and the way I would define growth is that, am I different from what I did? Have I learned something new this year? Yep. And is my journey, both in terms of the tangibles and the intangibles that I value, are in line with what I aspire to be, right? So therefore, growth is, I mean, giving people the scope of growth, the opportunities of growth, has been a very key part of our people strategy. And as an organization, we are growing, we are diversifying, and we are expanding at a very rapid pace. Uh, Therefore, everybody in the organization has the scope to learn, contribute, grow themselves. Right? We ran, a very, very effective mentorship program. One a little informally, and the second one was absolutely formally, just a couple of years ago. And really proud to see the people who have gone through that are indeed very different professionals today. Yeah. The organization, I mean, okay, so I was staying on this whole path of growth. We are actually offer people opportunities. Look, these are the opportunities which are available for grab. If you want to do something new, come and take a shot. So it's a and most importantly, this I am talking based on data. We have been a great place to work 2 years in a row, and the key thing that stood with us for all the years, one of the organization's strength is the people values. You know, it's a very caring organization. So, lot of decisions that we have taken, even during hard times, were keeping people in front. While I say this, I'm mindful of that. Now, whatever say we have done in our organization will fulfill everybody else. I mean, will be equally applicable for other organization. It may not, but I think the magic is to get to the context of the organization and once again live by the values. Once we see that the leadership is walking the talk, I'm sure the rest of the concerns that leads to turnover or attrition may be addressed then and there. A few tweaks, we know this, we hear this term very, very often now in the people practice space, which is, or in the reward space, which is hyper personalization. I think those are very simple things to address, provided we are able to really show our people that I mean, we live by what we say. A long answer to a very, very focused question.
Yeah, I get that point. To summarize on what we say is, when we look at the practices are to see how we can provide them opportunities to grow insight, and we share them the facts that are there which they can grab and start. So that's one. And I would like to congratulate saying that you are getting into the century, 100 years in this arena of green
No, it's
space,
50.
which
It is
is a
50.
high.
50.
I think I've never heard somebody following green initiatives for the last 100 years in my journey of this career, at least. So,
So we are
congratulations
getting
for
into
you
our
and your
50th
team
year.
to be there.
We do aspire to be 100, and I'm sure we'll be there.
Very good.
But
Very,
this is
very
our goal
nice.
in 50 year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what you are saying is, in terms of we should keep them motivated. One is training, is what you covered up. Okay. So, that's a very important point where every organization needs to look at growing and seeing that their employees are continuously getting a path for themselves aligned and getting trained. That's a good thing that I heard about, Sanjeev. Thanks. I'll go into the next question. How do you approach talent acquisition, onboarding to ensure that new employees integrate seamlessly into the company's culture?
Okay, so see, as a part of I mean, our entire onboarding process is, it is very, very structured,
Mhm.
and we really, I mean, the cultural assimilation of people is very, very key. Rather, I'm not even using the word important. I'm using the word key for us. Uh, the induction, onboarding, etc. All organizations do. I think. Do we do anything very unique in this space? Yes, no, but uh, definitely. I mean, for us, when we are interacting with with the candidates, the interaction happens across all levels. I mean, it is not only that, that, for example, if we have used recruitment partner, we give the onus on the recruitment partner to be in touch with the candidates. We don't do that. Once the CV is shortlisted, it's a direct connection between the organization and the candidate. Um and when I say it's a it's a direct connection. Is it only the recruiters and the HR team? No, it can also be directly with the hiring manager,
Mm.
and so on and so forth. And basically, the hiring manager. It can also be the business head, because that's the. I mean, we want to get connected with the person. I mean, what is going to happen as a result of the interview, that's immaterial. I mean, that will come later. However,
Yeah.
if even if a candidate dates, for example, has a question and all, they can reach us directly. A lot of time during our conversation with a candidates and definitely during joining, I mean during the entire onboarding process, a lot of focus is given on the legacy of the organization, on the values of the organization, on the on these I mean on the cultural aspects of the organization. In particular, what are the do's and what are the don'ts. uh, and thereafter, there are I mean interventions that are created where uh, uh, we have the opportunity. By we, I mean our senior leaders have the opportunity to meet the people, maybe one on one or in a group across levels, and the things that we really pass on, the information that we really pass on, is once again coming back to the aspirations of the organization, backed by our legacy and our values. I think with this level of communication that we have, even in our personal interactions, so on and so forth. Like, for example, we say that we are an open culture organization and we are an open door, quote unquote, policy. I don't like that word as much. However, an open door policy means you are free to reach anybody, particularly the senior leaders, at any point of time when you wish, and we respect that. Uh, so, while there is this whole process of assimilating people in this, I think what really has worked for us or works for us is for us, walking the talk.
Okay, that's good. So we have a clear policies designed in terms of how, who, and what gets discussed, and how the whole journey of onboarding takes care when we start with the interview to the offer letter. So thanks for that, Sanjeev. Vijay, you would like to go ahead? Yeah.
Yes, Prem. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev, for the insights. Sanjeev, I have a question. What trends and developments do you see shaping the future of HR? And how can we prepare for these changes?
Oh, wow. A thought-provoking question, Vijay. Thanks for that. See,
Yeah.
I came across this statement in, I think, one of the conferences that I had attended some time back, and that was on AI, etc. Which actually, and this phrase had stayed with me. What it said is that let humans do the work that humans need to do, and let the rest be done by machines. Yep. The corollary statement to that was, let humans not do the work that machines can do. Right. Uh, the the way first and foremost technology is coming in, and we are having plenty of conversations around this, even at a HR leadership level, at a business leadership level, and I was privileged to attend quite a few of that. One very as recent as last evening. Uh, so the the key change that is really going to happen at the workspace, irrespective of industries across the world, is this coming in of technology. Yep. Now, when this comes, then what is going to happen? I have heard questions or raised or comments made that, okay, then functions like HR will cease to exist because everything machines will do. Well, that's definitely not going to be the case. However, where would what would the HR folks need to do? And here, I'll just also go back to whatever we have seen that has happened over the last couple of years. Now, uh, so say when uh, mm, when ERPs came in, yeah, the whole thought process was that, HR will now lose its job, and HR means whom? The people who probably handle records. right? But have the record management, the employee record management job gone away? Definitely, it has not gone away. Yes, then technology has made it much easier to do it. And where it is coming, I mean, the expectation for those from those jobs is probably to get into, or rather to use that data not only as a file lying in the corner of a cupboard, but to use that data of employee to actually come to actually derive meaningful decisions about the employee, right? I think as HR professionals, this is the first thing that we need to understand. Technology is something that is coming in to make our lives easier. It may happen that I will have a virtual, I will have a virtual colleague to to support me, to help me out. Somebody who is actually reporting to me may have a human name, but is actually a machine. I'm referring to the bots, etc. The second thing is that how do we really bring in the human aspect, the the H in HR? Yep. Uh, that does not mean that we all become philanthropists. We all, actually uh, go and do work that quote unquote philanthropists do. Definitely, as much yes, we need to maintain our human values. That's also at the same time the business is what we are for. So how do we really balance the business need and not lose the human connect? And why I'm saying this, because I've been in the phase when I've actually saw things like performance appraisals being taken over by systems, by all. Right? It has to do it. There are a lot of advantages in running systems like appraisals, digitally. But does it take away the importance of the person to person feedback? Probably not. And we comfortably took that shortcut, you know, that, okay, write the feedback on the system, and people will have no other option but to accept or to reject, and then you know what to do with the person. That does not work. So HRP, I'm sure the people professionals need to be very, very mindful of that. Technology cannot take away the people connect. And third is the new vistas that are opening up. Like, the like the recruitment decision is still going to be done by us, by a human. The the software or the solutions will give us options to select, but the selection has to be by using the human brain, at least at this stage. Yeah. Uh, Now, the mundane jobs of, say, for example, leave management, payroll, blah, blah, which can be completely done by machines and do not need human interventions out there. So what else do we need to do? Can we up our game uh, to do things that would be required of us? Analytics definitely coming in a big way. Decision making coming in a big way. Critical thinking, the ability to break up problems into pieces and then decide based on situational context coming up in a big way. Is HR ready for that? I'm sure there's an amazing opportunity that's lying in front of all people practitioners. Better to ease our life a lot more by using technology, but also do the work that, once again, copying what I had said earlier, humans can do.
That was great. Vijay, I'll take a minute here. So,
Yeah.
Sanjeev sir, what your point is very clear, saying that AI and other things can look at easing of lot of work around it. So, what I've seen in my experience here is that we've seen. I think we are one generation. We've seen from Doordarshan to the latest technologies, right? So, looking at what came and what changed, at that time it was a disruption, right? After that, you still see there are a lot of openings there in that domain. So example is, I will take banking, which is my core stuff there, right? So if you look at banking, when they said ATMs will be there placed everywhere, you don't need to go to the teller machine and take cash. But
Yes.
still people go to take cash in the banks, right? So ATMs made availability of cash easy for everybody to take it anytime, whereas banks did large transactions on cash again in their branches. So just giving an example on what you said, it is going to ease our work, but human intervention is always there while we bring up these systems which are automated, making the small mundane jobs automated. That's what AI and this one. But there's a lot of learning that has to go to the technology side. This is what I've seen. So I thought I'll put it. It was in the same context. I think if I can add that there, Sanjeev.
No, very rightly put Prem. So see, I mean, at one point in time, and I mean, I used to actually give this example that yes, ATMs have come, right? We don't have, but have the people who were working as the tellers in the bank lost their jobs?
No.
Has that job gone away? No, it has
No.
changed.
Right.
The deliverable of that job, or maybe the context of the content of that job might have changed in a certain way. That is it.
Correct.
When it happens, any change is difficult to undergo.
Yeah.
I mean, let us use a different hand to write or to brush our teeth. We will feel how difficult it is.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Agreed. Yes. Thanks for that, Sanjeev. Yeah. Vijay.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Prem. Sanjeev, you mentioned about mission. So my next question is about that only. How do you balance the need for automation and artificial intelligence in HR with the personal touch and human element that HR traditionally provides?
See, we need to really be mindful of that fact that machines will do machines work, right? Machine will not be able to give you a hug. I mean, I'm just trying to, give a very simple example. So, and people practitioners need to be mindful of this fact. The example of the appraisal feedbacks that I gave you, right? It is easy to put in that feedback, good, bad, whatever it is, on a system, and expecting the people to read and all. What happens to what is going on in the person's mind? And please, and mind you, this is not only happening in HR. It is about maybe certain aspects of the technologies that we use in HR. However, HR technologies are, for that matter, not only for HR, right? It is for everybody in the organization to adopt. So if we have our managers actually sitting down, not meeting people post the appraisals, maybe ignoring people straight away, because certain feedback during appraisal can be very hard to give by the manager themselves, right? So if we are really not doing this, similarly, if say somebody has a query on it, on any of the people processes, and they want to reach out to the HR team. However, the process that the organization would have put in is like, okay, you either ask a bot, or you raise your question, you get a query, and the team will answer when your line comes. Does it really work? So I think this is the balance that every organization needs to get. Technology is facilitating work, no question. But technology should not be taking away the human touch from anywhere in the organization. And that's what I mean.
Yeah, rightly said. Technology it is to support for facilitating the work. Yeah, thank you. Meanwhile, if there is any question from the audience side, please raise your hand so that I can allow you to talk. Hello, Srinivas.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. Do you have any questions to Sanjeev?
Yeah. Thank you, Vijay, for the opportunity. Hi, Sanjeev. We know each other earlier as well.
Seeing you, yeah.
Yeah, nice here, likewise. Sanjeev, I am speaking on behalf of the student community. As you know, I'm a visiting faculty at a couple of management institutes in Mumbai. I also am I teach a program on business analytics. And I remember you mentioning that, business analytics is something that you're very keenly looking forward to.
Yeah.
Having said so, with my brief interactions with the placement student committees, one of the things that I've been noticing is that while the business analytics students do seem to have a little bit of edge compared to their other peers of other programs who may not have business analytics, nevertheless, they still are struggling a bit in the current job market right now in India. My question to you was, are there any specific tips or a piece of advice that you would like to give so that the approach of the students is further fine-tuned in the right direction from an HR perspective?
Okay. Yeah, thanks for this question, Srinivas. See, what I am seeing is this, that the ability to process data, forget data, the ability to process any information and thereby coming up with a meaningful full conclusion or options for decision making, that is coming up very very fast across organizations, and I'm seeing this across quite a few sectors, right? Business analytics now, can this be done only by business analytics people? I don't think so. Of course, yes, the business analytics is, a stream of knowledge now, a specialized stream of knowledge now. Therefore, people out there may have a delta advantage over the rest because they may be knowing certain, or they may be studying certain tools, techniques, methods that will help them in their job. However, my point is, you don't really need to study business analytics to be analytical. It is the ability to be able to really see a little beyond, a little deeper into things. If I'm seeing a certain event happening, can I draw that trend? Is it can I really create a trend out of it, and maybe then support my organization with, once again, certain options that, okay, if this is what this sequence of events is telling me. If you're able to start getting into that level, any function, any hierarchical level, we would have been then using the analytics part of our brain any which ways. So um, there's no need to be for people to kind of worry that, okay, we have not studied business analytics, so therefore we are losing out. Definitely not. Yes, business analytics being a very very specific field, the expectation or the deliverable for a business analyst role is going to be very different. But analytics is something that all of us need to equip ourselves, because that is going to help us in decision making across the organization. Have I answered you, Prof?
Yes, absolutely, Sanjeev. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Srinivas, for that good question. Any other question from the audience? Prem, would you like to go with another question? Next question.
Yeah, Vijay, I'll go. Thank you. What advice would you give to individuals who aspire to build their career in HR, eventually reaching to a leadership role at a later stage? Sanjeev.
Oh goodness! Now that is a bouncer, Prem, because honestly, I'm nobody to give an advice. I can only share whatever I've little bit learnt in my journey.
Yeah, okay.
And most humbly, I'm saying this and I mean it.
Yeah.
Because the context, the situations that we grew up
Okay.
are very different than people who are starting their careers today, or have just started few years back. The context is very, very
100% agreeing with you on that. There is a
but
difference.
what I have seen, and this is for everybody who would want to make a career in the people practice. My first question to you would be: please ask yourself this question and get an answer. That why did you want to get into the people practice in the first place?
Okay.
When I ask this question, more often than not, I hear these kind of answers very honestly, and I'm really going to be a little call critical, call blunt. That yes, I like people, you know, I like to, I like to be around with people. Now, please understand our liking for people, our liking to be around with people. At times, our liking or our interest in organizing events has nothing to do with what the business needs from the people function. I go back to where we started the discussion with. Our job is to make the organization successful with their people practices. So for that, A, understand the business as much as we can. Incidentally, I really say we should be able to. And while I'm saying this, I'm not only preaching; I'm also learning myself. We need to understand the business better than the business manager themselves, because then only we'll be able to do justice to the people hat that we wear. Second is the people practices. Once again, are not. I mean, they really don't come out from thin air, or they don't really come out from things that, okay, I think we should do this. A lot of times we go by our hunch, we go by our, by our intuition, at times our passion. Yeah. Like, for example, we need to do birthday celebrations, or we need to send cakes on everybody on their birthday. Please look at the relevance. Yeah. Please build in that context on why are you proposing anything? Why do you think something needs to be done? And a lot of times, the people professionals, we do not ask this question to us. Yeah, what's in it for the organization to do that? What is the organization going to get? I'm not talking of ROI. I'm only talking of the relevances. Yep. And the last tip, what I have seen is, what I would rather say, is to be able to up our game in two ways. One, by staying authentic to ourselves, authentic to our thoughts, by understanding the context of the organization. So basically, the Control C, Control V in terms of people practice does not work, and it fails. So say somebody else, some organization has done that, or some organization has adopted either hybrid or 100% remote work. However, so we also need to adopt that, will not work. The last part of this answer is, yep, believe in yourself. A lot of times we get into this phenomena, or rather, get into this mindset. Business does not understand HR. We are not valued. Yeah. And I see, unfortunately, I feel bad when I say this. I see HR teams making memes of themselves. Yeah. And those memes are quote unquote negative memes. Guys, the power of our roles, if the day we understand, I'm sure we are going to change ourselves as professionals, right? No business can exist without people, and that is the role that we play. It is not about running payroll. It is not only about managing leave. It is not only about doing the fun at work. It is about really contributing to the business with and having a very, very sound understanding of what can work in my people's space. Yeah, I hope I
Yes,
answered you.
yes, you did, Sanjeev. Thank you for that. I have Sandeep Mishra who's joined us. Sandeep, if you can ask your question by muting.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Prem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay, and hello, everyone. Sanjeev, I have one very simple and a small question to you, being a
Yes, sir.
CHRO. In today's workplace, we see a lot of youngsters coming, right? And
Yes.
they are called Gen Z, right? These youngsters have a far more different, mindset, the way they approach the things. And if I look at back a decade ago or maybe two, the things were different approach by the youngsters. So how to handle, being a senior in the organizations with this kind of mindset when they are very young and then they have altogether born in social media and having a lot of influences with them. So just wanted some inputs from your end.
Oh, well, interesting. And thanks, Sandeep, for asking this question. See, I mean, multi-generational workforce is a reality in most organizations today, and particularly in organizations in India. Yes, very, very much. And we are indeed the youngest country in the world, right, in terms of the workforce population. So therefore, it is going to happen. I will relate this to what happens at home, right? When we were growing up, yeah, this generational dialogue definitely used to have, or this, I don't want to use the word, but for want of any other word, the generational conflict used to happen, right? With our parents, maybe with our grandparents. When they were young, they used to do certain things in a certain way, which they found us not doing. I'm really seeing that it is exactly reflection of that, and it is bound to happen in any society. My 2 cents here is to be transparent. I mean, a lot of times, in our own roles, we we really tend to become the teacher and the preacher, not the colleague of someone who is much younger to us. And one source of the problem is that, right? When people are coming to work, they are actually a colleague. And to be able to so we have, I mean, the population, say the baby boomers or say Gen Y, they have they have seen a different, or they have grown up in a very different context than the people today are, right? We call about attention span, we call about now, I mean, someone who is coming to work today would have probably, spent their entire childhood maybe playing, games on the mobile, right? How can we expect that the person's overall attention span to sit down and read a entire what 40-page policy that we might have written so passionately? Doesn't work. So, we organizations need to be relevant. Also to look at what the experience, what the experienced group can offer, and also how do we integrate the 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 new generation, call them Gen Z, call them millennials. That's from the organization perspective. The other thing that I would tell the millennials is, or the Gen Zs, my younger colleagues, is, guys, you have come to a place where you have people who have already been there, done that. Yeah. So slow down. Everything is not fast forward. Everything is not T20. Careers are not built on the T20 approach. The careers need maybe a little bit of test match, if I can build in that. If I can build on this example. Therefore, first, yes, you know a lot of things, but also try to learn what is happening in the organization. For that, you would need to be present in the organization. Just not come, do your job, and go. Yep. Ask yourself your purpose. Why are you joining an organization? What is it that is driving you? Right? The options that you have today are much, much more than what your reporting managers or maybe your function heads would have had. Right? So they might have continued, but when they have continued, they have also gained a lot of experience, and they are contributing back to the organization, right? So when you want your aspirations to be met by the organization, also start contributing to the organization, not because I carry X degree, or I know that skill, or third is I have just arrived. This will not let you go in the long run. So it's a mix and match. It's a handshake from both the sides, and both the sides need to be, cognizant about each other's presence and their needs. Have I answered you, Sandeep?
Yes, absolutely, Sanjeev. Thank you so much for your valuable inputs. And I think, a handshake can fulfill this gap. And only thing which we see in today's generation, they expect the results so quickly, which you completely, address that. We need to tell them that they need to have some patient, and need to see that what can be done for them, and when we make them realize that why they have joined a particular organization and what is their purpose, I think that's going to help a lot. So thank you so much for your help here. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for that insights. Thank you, Sandeep, for the interesting question. Any other question from the audience? All right. From this session, my key takeaways are, no business can exist without the people. That's a good learning, and understand the business, stay authentic, understand the context. So these are my key takeaways. Hope the audience also heard the very good information and insight from the speaker. With this, we would like to conclude the session. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Sanjeev, for accepting the invite and joining us. Thank you, Prem. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Srinivas, for asking good questions. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
It's
Thank
a
you, everyone.
privilege and a pleasure. So thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Prem.
Thank you, everyone.